What's up, y'all? Elise Smith back for the Socially Awesome Podcast, episode 5. And man, that workshop was fire. Not even kidding you. It was fire. And I am so grateful and thankful for everyone that was at the Build a Brand workshop. I hope and I know that all of you got value and that you are going out and killing it when it comes to upping your branding game online. So today we're going to continue the theme with branding a little bit, just because it's still September and I promised you all things branding in September, but it's going to be so much different than your brand kit. Today we're talking about you. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of you are afraid to be on camera. You're afraid to take photos, and I get it, okay? If you don't know me in real life, I have lost 100 pounds before, so I know not wanting to be on camera because you're not comfortable with yourself. I know what it feels like to have post-hysterectomy breakouts or hormonal breakouts, wherever you are in your hormonal history world, okay? I'm being very transparent here today, but I'm telling you, I've been there. I know what it feels like to just not have the energy to put on any makeup or not want to put on any makeup or downright just don't feel like getting on camera today. But I'm going to tell you a couple ways that you can incorporate your branding into you and into your lives and into your video content. But I'm also going to tell you a lot about incorporating yourself, okay? So I want to get started by saying selfies, right? Selfies became a thing a couple years ago. Pictures have been around forever, but I feel like when the selfie stick came out, the whole world changed, right? And a lot of people don't know how to properly take selfies. You shouldn't have the stick in the photo with you, okay? It shouldn't be an angle of coming up the chins, right? It shouldn't be. There are proper ways to take selfies. So we've all seen that selfie where we're like, oh, no, she didn't. And then we've seen that one that was like, that looks like a professional took that. Or she must have had headshots done. Little did you know it was me and my ring light in my office, standing in front of my kid who wouldn't get out of the picture. Like, isn't that terrible? But it's so true. You can relate to that, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about taking those selfies and taking those photos first. And then we'll go into some ways that you can incorporate your branding in it. So the first thing, I highly recommend that you invest in a ring light. I would think at this point, everyone has a ring light, especially since we all went virtual for the last couple of years, but I know a good chunk of people in my group don't have one yet. So in the show notes, I'm going to link my all tech guide. It has all of my favorite things that I use for my videos, my reels, my photos, all the things, okay? But I'm telling you, taking selfies is so much more than sticking your arm out and taking a selfie. I set the timer on my phone. I step back, I get ready, I have a countdown, and I smile. And it's so much better than using my arm length that's not long enough to get all of my chins out of the photo and take it, okay? There's good angles, there's bad angles, but when you're taking the picture hands-free, you're more likely to get those good angles. So I will tell you, I recently took a selfies superstar course, and I know you're laughing at me, but I'm telling you, it really changed a lot about the ways I take photos for my business. So for me, I bought the course for less than I could hire a photographer to take 5 edited photos for me. So it was an investment in my business, but it was worth every penny. I could hire, and I still have all intentions of hiring a photographer because I do want to have the experience of not editing these photos and taking pictures and feeling flawless and feeling that gorgeous moment of having a professional photo shoot. That's coming, but I've yet to find the time to do that, and I needed good pictures for my business. So I invested in a selfie superstar course, which I will also link in the show notes if you're interested. It's put on by a self-made millionaire, okay? So there is a reason she's gotten to where she's gotten. She knows how to take pictures. She knows how to create content, but it's so important that you have photos of yourself in your content because you need to humanize your brand. If people can't relate to you and you're not humanizing your brand, they're scrolling right past you, okay? So you have to have pictures of yourself. One, so people know who the brand is. Who are they talking to? If you have a photo of you and everyone at your class reunion as your profile picture, and someone finds you and wants to do business with you and they don't know which person you are in that photo, that's a problem. So your profile pictures and all of your content should be pictures of yourself. Does that mean I never include photos of my children? No, absolutely not. I have pictures of my children on it all the time because I am empowering tired AF moms. If you don't know my I am statement, I empower tired AF moms to monetize their social media and build a life of freedom. That's what I do. So of course I want to incorporate the element of me being a mom. However, it's also very important for people to see who they're doing business with. And that would be me and not my 5-year-old daughter, who is a hot mess to express some days. So am I. So I know where she gets it from. But I'm telling you, you've got to incorporate pictures of yourself. And if you're not confident doing that, I highly recommend you take the course. It was so inexpensive compared to the amount of value I got out of it. Also, there are so many ways you can incorporate your brand into your photos. So not just photos of yourself, but photos in general. So I'll give you some examples. I try to wear my branding colors in most of my photos, definitely when I'm live. So if I'm doing a live training, a YouTube video, something you're going to see me live, I'm probably going to wear one of my brand colors. If I don't have on my brand color shirt, I try to incorporate it in my earrings or something like that, my jewelry, okay? And that's just because I didn't run out and buy $1,000 worth of new clothes when I finally established my brand. However, from that point forward, when I started shopping, I started looking for items that were in my color that I liked. Same thing with jewelry, accessorizing, right? My planner is one of my brand colors now, which I do most things on the computer, but I do still like to write things down. And it is my brand colors because I have taken a picture before with me and my planner at my desk, and it incorporates my coloring into my photos. You can also consider it when you're looking for things like your accessories in your office. If you plan on posting any content where you're taking pictures at your desk, you can incorporate that. My podcast mic is blue because I took a picture with my podcast mic to launch my podcast, and it's blue, so it matches my color scheme. Okay, so thinking, did I say that you had to run out and buy a podcast mic immediately? No, I already intended on buying one. But thinking about my branding in every element of my business, I already had intentions on buying a podcast mic. So instead of buying a black one or a white one, I bought a blue one. Instead of buying a pink planner just because I'm a girl, I bought a teal one. I'm telling you to incorporate, and I now do that as well. So I incorporate my branding colors into everything. They just happen to be a color that I absolutely love to begin with, but think about that. So like I said in the show notes, I'm going to drop that Selfie Superstar course. Highly recommend it. I'm going to drop my all tech guide so you can see some of the items that I use that help me take selfies. I have a ring light that is phenomenal. I also have a selfie stick that I use that I can actually put legs up on and set it on my desk. I have set it out and about before when I've taken pictures of my husband and I at the Grand Canyon. I have used it in so many different places, and I'm talking about shoestring budget items. Okay, your girl is on a budget. I am still building this business from the ground up. So all of these items are super inexpensive. You can find on Amazon, but I'm telling you to think about your branding colors and your branding kit when you are incorporating it into your photos, even down to the phone case. It's one of my branding colors because I've taken a picture with it before when I'm making reels to make content. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you missed the past episodes, it was all about building your brand kit. Even though the workshop's over, go listen to them. They talk about the psychology of colors, fonts, logos, all things branding kit. Okay, it's so important that you know that when you're building your personal brand. I also want to invite you to join my free community for online entrepreneurs, socially awesome entrepreneurs. I'll put the link in the show notes for you. Lastly, I want to say thank you for listening. And if you have enjoyed this, please leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. It helps me get those ratings and know what content you want to hear in the future. And I lied, that wasn't last. The last thing is if you want to get in front of my audience, because that's the best way to build your brand, is to get in front of other people's audiences. If you want to get in front of my audience, then you can take a screenshot of you watching this, post it in your stories, tag me at Elise1Smith. I'll put my username in the show notes as well. Put it on your stories and I will share it to mine so you can get in front of my large audience as well. And it's the best way to build your brand. So I hope you enjoyed this and I will see y'all next week.